Welcome back to the GSL Up and Down matches. We have 3 more of our regular set of matches. If all players win or all players lose, we will have a tie-break situation. So basically, this is like the spelling bee, where you have to spell a word correctly, and then your opponent has to spell a word wrong, and then you have to spell a word right, or something like that. Like, I don't know. It's not actually the best comparison, but
right now, how the group works, if we could end up with having only 2 games. If one of the upper 3 players wins his next game and the next one loses, then we only have 2 games.
yeah.
In this situation, it would come down to a direct comparison between 2 of them, so we would only need these 2 games. But if all of them win or all of them lose, then we have another 3-way tie. I hope that made any sense, but that's if you look at the map order right now, we have Hack Zenio, MC Tree, and Virus Seed. And if Zenio loses and MC wins, or if Zenio wins and MC loses, we won't need the last game because of the 3-way tie situation. So the players that could be tied in any potential way would not have to play again, because it would already be really who would advance because of the direct comparison.
Yep. Our first map, by the way, where we have Zenio playing against Hack, is going to be on Antigua. And, you know, we've mentioned this several times. I just want to clarify one more time. All the players, the 3 players that have a chance in this are Seed, Zenio, and MC. The players who are out are Hack, Tree, and Virus. And all 3 of those players basically are fighting here only for pride. They have no way of getting back into this. So we could see some really weird strategies. I mean, we've seen this before when players are out. No matter what, they do, you know, curious things.
Yeah, that is perfectly true. There's nothing on the line anymore for Hack, for Virus, or for Tree. So we'll find out what exactly they are up to, especially in a situation where you don't have anything to lose. You might just go for some crazy all-in.
Well, if that's the case, man, what is Tree going to do against MC? What will he do?
That's a pretty good point. 7 SE rush?
Planetary Fortress rush?
That would be cool. That would be great.
Well, we are going to jump into the first map on Antigua. This is the GSL Up and Downs with Caldor and Wolf. We'll find out if Zenio can take his win against the defeated Hack.
To the right side of the map, Antigua Shipyard, not Malta. We have Hack now for the StarTale team in the orange. And Street Fighter Boys.
StarTale Hack
confirms it. Here his opponent. As mentioned, Hack is just playing for honor here. He's out. He has no way of winning anymore. He can't advance to Kodes. He will play in Korea next season. But his opponent, for him, everything's on the line here. The Zerg player for Team Liquid, he has to win if he wants to advance.
Liquid Zenio.
That's actually not correct.
He has to hope, if he loses, he has to hope his 2 other tied players also lose.
No.
Well, no. Well, he has to hope for one of them to lose because of the tie situation with the direct comparison. That's really complicated.
Yeah.
That I will not explain right now. If you can do it if you want, Caldor, I'll give you like the talking ball, and you can explain who beat who and why. But
if Zenio loses here, he has to hope that Seed wins, that Seed advances, and MC loses.
Yeah, because he has beaten MC directly with the Baneland Bus.
Exactly. If this happens, Seed will have 4-1, will advance to Kodes, and Zenio will be tied with MC with 3-2, both of them. And because Zenio was able to win against MC, Zenio would advance over MC. So even if he loses, he's not out yet. He just has to hope that Seed wins and MC loses his match as well.
Yep. Thank you for clarifying that.
It's getting a little bit complicated here, but it's really funny how this group works. It's very symmetrical.
You guys ever seen like one of these big chalkboards, like a huge math formula, like A equals MC squared? There's like a huge formula with like all of these different integer symbols and things. Like some symbols you like don't even know what they are. That's actually what Caldor's like sheet looks like right now with all these things on it. Like he's got a bunch of arrows. He has like a picture of a dragon for some reason. I'm not sure what that means. Like I don't know why
we see a dragon.
I'm not sure why he drew a dragon on the paper, but I guess that helps him figure it out.
One of my favorite movies is actually Good Will Hunting. Have you ever watched it?
No, but I've heard the name.
It's a brilliant movie about this guy who works basically at the beginning as a janitor. He's a little bit of a screw up, but he's a genius. He's just comfortable with the gang that he's hanging out, and he is kind of working in one of these universities, like really high tech, and then they realize how smart he actually is. It's pretty cool. It's a little bit of romance, drama, and it's a very
I like
amazing
those
movie.
types of films, you know.
You should watch it. It's really good.
I will get into that right away.
It's my favorite movie together with The Shawshank Redemption.
There's movies like this that I really enjoy. Like, for example, God, what's the name of this film? It's a film about the guy who came up with. It's about Nash, John Nash.
Oh yeah, that's basically the same type. It's really similar.
What's the name of that movie?
Beautiful Mind.
Yeah, Beautiful Mind. Okay.
It's kind of. It has the same theme to it. It's not exactly the same, but the general idea is kind of.
I really enjoy that.
For me, it's a similar type of movie, although the story is kind of different. But it's
more
this
similar.
one ingenious person and how he deals with his abilities.
Right. Well, let's just talk. Let's say we were going reactor Hellion expand with the double gas after one racks expand, and Zenio has not. He's taken units out of gas.
Very
it's been
standard,
seen.
yeah.
But
so far.
this film sounds more like. Have you seen the film Gattaca?
Heard about it. Didn't see it.
It's a very similar idea where someone has amazing abilities but is limited by his genetics, and so he kind of has to struggle in a society that puts emphasis on genetics. Highly recommend that film as well. But Starport going down now for Hack, who is making a tech lab, so we're going to see him follow up with this Banshee play that has become more popular as a follow-up to the Reactor Hellion expand. It's even becoming more popular, especially after the Queen buff, because you can use the Banshees in unison with the Hellions. I'm like, I don't know why I can't come up with an English word for this, but if the Hellions and the Banshees together can accomplish great things, like denying creep and damaging Queens with Banshees, as well as killing them with Hellions or vice versa. We do see a lot of minerals banked up here. We oftentimes see the Terran take a fast third command center with this. He has not done it just yet. He probably will, though.
Well, we have a little bit of we have to wait for now for Cloak and everything. One of the things that I wanted to point out right now, because I know that people have been talking about it, we saw a few stats of which players advanced and which races advanced, and Protoss kind of struggled here, while 75% of the Zerg players who were playing in the up and downs actually advanced to Code S. One of the things that people have to realize when they see these stats, this is actually what you would expect, because think about who dropped down into the up and downs. We had players like Nasty playing here, and that is exactly what you kind of expect with all those great Zerg players who were eliminated in Code S and had to play their way through the up and downs. This is exactly what I would have suspected before we started into those group matches, especially Protoss. There were so many Protoss who did not drop down to the up and downs. So
the Protoss did so well.
This is not all that much of a surprise.
Only the weakest Protosses are actually in these groups. Think about that.
Like the guys who are still pretty insane and really good if you compare it, but if you could just put it into comparison, who is still in Code S, it kind of makes sense. But yeah,
I mean it's a very blunt way of saying it, but I mean only the weakest Protosses fell down.
So these race distributions and the rate of advancement actually makes perfect sense if you think about it this way.
Yeah. By the way, Hack did go for that faster third command center. He waited for his second Banshee before sending them out, but already there is a Spore on the way because he knows the timing for this. He's actually going to go ahead and make 3, I think. The second one does go down, and that the natural... He's not making one there. He's making his Laird as natural, though, by the way, which I really, really like. It makes him much less vulnerable to drops. It's a lot harder to drop the natural, and sometimes we see players target down that main tech structure. Here we go. There is a Spore and a Queen available here. He's got close, but he's too close to the Spore and needs to move around.
He's getting another one, and right now those drones, they die. That's the beauty of having 2 Banshees. You can't just one-hit drones. And this is very, very effective here. As you can see, another one has to be cancelled, and he's just losing a lot at this point. So
he's
very well
keep these
played.
Banshees alive. Will we see Zenio? I mean, he's going to go Infestors from here, so even those are going to be pretty difficult to use against these Banshees. He's getting a little bit too close to that Spore, though, and another Queen pops out. May lose a Banshee if he's not careful here. He may be a little bit too overzealous. Looks like he's just barely going to get out. Nice control by Hack.
Oh my god, he's rallied those drones to the third and loses another bunch of drones, and therefore he lost 13 in total.
That's way too
a
many.
ton of Spore Crawlers. This is a really good play by Hack so far. Zenio has to be a bit careful, but on the other hand, one of the Banshees already died.
He's made a total of 6 spores, so you can add that to drones killed. That's 20.
He still has 63. He still has 63 drones, and
well, that's the other scary thing too. Is making so many drones, he's not been able to put any pressure on Hack, who's now going to secure a third base, which is why this build is so strong.
the thing is, he doesn't really want to put on a lot of pressure because he's going for Mutalisks, and he has a ton of gas saved up. So as long as he built, yeah, okay, he has 4 Overlords because it was supply block. Even the creep drop here, making sure that it's a bit delayed. Another Banshee dies at the bottom. But yeah, as you can see now with the gas that he has, he can build a scary amount of Mutalisks. This is going to be really scary. If he fully commits to this, he's getting +2/+2 right now, which invests a lot of gas as well. But he still will be able to get at least 10.
Yeah, there are no turrets in
for the
play.
minerals.
He's already got +2/2 for his infantry on the way, but with that eBay, he's not made a single turret. There are no Thors, of course, out yet either, because he has no reason to believe he needs those. Now, finally, starting turrets at actually the perfect timing. This is actually great for him. It's not a moment too soon. He also scanned, he saw the Spire with it, so
yeah.
He scanned, he's like, oh, I gotta get these 4 turrets going up.
That was one important scan.
He's getting combat shields, unlike Virus, who waited for the last second to get those in a previous game against Zenio. And sending a few Marines forward to try to clean up these Zerlings is actually a failed attempt. He ends up just losing the Marines, killing very few Zerlings. He does stop them from killing the rocks, though. 8 more Mutas on the way, which put him at a total of 14. The first wave of Mutas, though, I do not think will be able to do anything with these turrets up. He already has Marines in position as well. Since he scouted the Spire, he's just totally prepared. We see Overlord Speed, Infestation Pit, double hatches going down. He's taking the 9 o'clock expansion as well as the 5 o'clock.
The timing for the double hatch makes perfect sense, because with the Mutalisks right now, he controls the map, he can shut down drop play, but he has to pay attention to his Mutalisks here. If he loses them, he will be in a tough spot, because this is what basically guarantees him that his bases are safe for now. Yeah. That he can shut down drop play, and there is already another medevac en route. Oh, and that was actually really close. He nearly caught the medevac, but he was just able to retreat into the safety of 2 missile turrets.
It was a close call indeed. 2-2 finishing up around the same time for both players. Slightly ahead, just a hair ahead for Hack. Making, right now, he's continuing Siege Tanks production. He's got +1 for his tanks finishing up here too. These Mutas are actually a little bit off position. He looks like he wants to try to flank with these Zerlings, but I don't think he has enough units here. He's going to go for it. He has no Banelings in this mix.
There's only one tank though. One is Siege up at the back, and the Mutalisks take them down immediately. And oh my god, Hack is losing a lot, but he's pushing the Zerglings back.
Yeah.
As the thing is that Zenio actually had a few units on the high ground that he did not use.
He didn't use them, and he only sent 3 Banelings, which were targeted down right away. Oh, I think this is a bit overextending by Hack. He's now going to lose all those Marines and the Siege Tank, but meanwhile he is dropping the 9 o'clock location. The drones over there are actually going to fight to try to keep this hatchery alive, and I think they may just be able to do it. No, not with this positioning, with the medevac as well. He's going to get the hatchery. I think it's getting very low.
No,
he's going to lose it.
No. Ah, just.
I win, you lose.
That was so close.
The Marine died as the hatchery was dying.
As the bullet was flying towards the hatch, the Marine was already dead.
Yep. Double Overlords going down here as well, and he did kill a few more of the drones, but he's going to lose this huge Marine force, it looks like, which is pretty bad. He needs to keep these forces alive. Even though he's damaged his opponent's economy, he's lost a significant portion of his army several times in this game.
Exactly. 3-3 coming up now for Hack, who did not miss a beat with his upgrades. Really great play here. Now we have the Greater Spire for his opponent. Zenio also with the 3-3 upgrades for his ground units. And, well, this is actually evolving into a pretty crazy match. This is exactly how a Zerg versus Terran on this map quite often works, because the 4th base, that's the big problem for Zerg, getting the 4th and also securing the middle of the map.
Even if you have Mutas out, it's very difficult to defend against every single drop that your opponent may throw at you. He is getting the Greater Spire, his 3-3 upgrades are on the way. No Adrenal Glands but his opponent is also getting 3-3 concussive shells, preparing for the possible eventuality of Ultras. He's kind of prepared for both, adding both Thors now in here and adding the Marauders, but no Vikings just yet. Only the one Viking he made earlier to clean up Overlords, so that's something to consider. His southern base is very much under attack. Smartly, though, Zenio showing some of his style through here, leaving an Infestor behind. It does not have enough energy for Fungal, however.
Yep, indeed, and now the Zerglings will die, so will the Infestor. While Hack is trying to secure the middle of the map with a Planetary Fortress, and as soon as he has position of the high ground, this will be a very tough match for Zenio to win.
He will be able to clean up this hatchery, or the Marines trying to target the hatchery, but during this, the Butos are out of position. This allows him to try to push forward in the middle and control that Planetary that you were just mentioning. The hatchery does remain alive, but just barely. Meanwhile, he's attacking the other hatchery. He's attacking the Greater Spire, and it goes down.
That's a huge problem, and this basically is what you mentioned before. If you get your lair tech at the natural, it will be a little bit safer because it's harder to drop, but the same is true for your tech structures. And there are so many Protoss players also in PvT who will build their important tech structures at this upper edge on the tile at the bottom left, and then as soon as a drop comes into play, they will be immediately snipe all the tech buildings, which just happened right now to Zenio too.
Well, I think Hack is such a great position, man. He's got the 50 supply lead. He's breaking through these rocks. He's sending another group of units down to kill this hatchery, showing that, yeah, he may be out of this group, but he is a great TVZ player after all.
He is everywhere. He's attacking the third. He's attacking the fourth.
Great
he is
siege
dropping to the left.
He does not have much of an answer for these Brood Lords, though, and they will most likely start to take these siege tanks out. But he's losing the base at the bottom, as you mentioned. He's losing the base at the 9 o'clock.
They don't even cancel to the left side of the map.
Nope.
He killed it while it was building, and even though +3/+3 is finishing for Zenio, it doesn't make a difference because Hack is also completing his last upgrades. The last set of upgrades, they are gone. The army at the bottom is hard pressed, but here come more units in, and I have to say that, well, Hack plays this so well.
He does. A full energy investor being taken out without bungling. 2 of them, in fact. And this is going to be I mean, even though Zenio may hold this, in fact, he very likely will. He's losing too much. More investors going down without even using their fungals. And this is not an army that Zenio can replace right now, not with no economy.
Not this fast, and not against a player who has 4 bases against 2, 150
in fact,
supply
the last 2 Marines take out another infestor.
The infestors are gone, the bases are gone, he has nearly no mining, only the bottom left is mining the natural, and now
GG.
GG.
Now remember, Zenio is not necessarily out, but he has to hope that Seed loses.
No, Seed has to win and MC has to lose.
Oh, that's right, okay.
Oh, wow.
But his fate is not in his hands.
No, his fate is not in his hands at all. And we will definitely see at least 2 additional games.
Yep.
Right now, it's already clear that we will have at least 2 more games. We might have a 3-way tie again, and then we will start with additional games. Now he has to hope that... I will explain it again. At this point, Zenio is 3-2. If MC loses against Tree, MC will be 3-2 as well. Seed then is playing the last game against Virus, and if Seed is going to take this, he will advance with 4-1. Zenio and MC will be tied on 3-2, and because he won against MC before, Zenio would advance. So it all comes down to the next 2 games.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what these 2 players are. I want to know what the maps are, in fact. Something I actually had open, but somehow it got closed, so I have to reopen that. I didn't memorize the last 2 maps. Sorry. Sorry, guys. I messed up, alright? I'm so sorry. Alright, it's going to be MC versus Tree on dual site. A good map for Tree, especially with his tendencies to do crazy all-ins.
Yep. And
the last map will be Virus between Seed on Ohana. So that should be pretty good. Well,
I have a fan, by the way.
Yeah, if you sit on the...
I came to the studio and had this on my tree.
If you sit on the side of the dual site that's hot,
it's getting hot in here.
But if you actually sit on the side of the dual site that's grassy, I'm going to take that from you. Just see some 3 Diablo 3 boxes over there. I highly recommend playing Diablo 3 if you have not yet. A very fun game, a continuation of the Diablo series. Blizzard has spent so much time perfecting. Everyone's been waiting for Diablo 3 for, well, as long as we waited for StarCraft 2.
That's actually true. Yep. But I have to say, even though I really love Diablo 3, it's a game that you can play for quite a while, but StarCraft has more of a charm to it to play. It's just an esports game.
Of course StarCraft is better. No one will do that.
Diablo
The
is also
Blizzard people who made Diablo the best it could be were so sad they weren't making StarCraft. They were like, I wish I was actually doing the writing for StarCraft 2 instead, but this is the best I can do. It's good enough for me, I guess. All right, dual site, MC against Tree. A tough map for Protoss, and he's up against a pretty all-in player. MC's chances are on the line here. Of course, Tree is totally out, but he might be able to ruin MC's day.